Oh my God, Michelle. What is that? Michelle, why is that so cute? Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh my God, he's so cute. He's eating pizza. Thanks, Michelle. He's so cute. Hello, everybody. Hi, Wookie. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Holly. Hi, Vampy. Hi, Marie. Glad you're here, Vampy. Hi, Justin. Hi, KJ. How you doing, Justin? Hi, Lola. These are so cute. I'm loving that new capybara gift. Thank you, Lorna, for the spinning soccer. And thank you for the Lost in Your Music graveyard shift. That is so cute. That just popped. That is so cute. That is adorable. Thank you so much. I have like all these different devices watching so that I don't miss gifts. So sometimes it's delayed because I'll swipe out to keep one a delayed thing in case I miss any. And when I open it, it shows me all the gifts I missed. It's like a little trick. So if I'm ever delayed thanking you guys, it's just because I'm using that trick so I don't miss them. Which one, Lily? You got it in the mail it came? That one's so cute. They're different every time they swim. I love that. Thanks, Jade. Because you know how like when you swipe out and then you like if you're doing something else in a different window and you come back, all the gifts like pile at once? I do that so that if I miss any, I can swipe in and they all pile in and I can see them all. Because I was really sick of missing them. Because I enjoy the gifts a lot. Like I'm such a like little animated cartoon animal lover. So like these gifts are like amazing. Wookie, thank you for the capybara. You got the Bigfoot one in the color heather. Oh yeah. Do you like it? I'm going to make the black dog one for you. I will. I need to make the black dog one. It just might not be the exact same black dog from that picture because I don't think I can do that, but it'll be close. It'll look very close. Ready for lures and snores. I like that, Bratty Eddie. That's cute. Thank you, James. And yes, happy Monday. It is Monday where I premiered a new story tonight at 7 p.m. Not yet, Jade. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you to everybody who came to the live premiere tonight. Hello, Giera. How are you? Hi, Aqua. And if you didn't, don't worry. I will be reading the new story tonight. Oh, thank you, Ren. You liked it? Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love the one with the pizza. God, he's so cute. You've never finished a whole story? What do you mean? You always fall asleep. Hi, Mary. That's okay. You're going to hear it tonight, too. Oh, God, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Christina. She's in the story with me tonight that premiered. And yes, she is, in fact, one of my high school best friends. And she is still one of my best friends. And I love her. And she is my co-adventurer in shenanigans tonight in the new story. She's a real person and she really does live in Tennessee. And that's her. And she's amazing. She wasn't able to make it to the premiere, but she let me know ahead of time. But she missed her glory moment, you know. Thank you, Kim G, for the follow. Welcome to the porch. All right, you guys, at this point, now I'm ready for the requests. So in all capital letters, if you guys could get what, Jade? Oh, yeah, she will. Yep. If you guys could write your requests in all capital letters in the chat, I will write them down and then we will vote. Oop, I just knocked over my iPad. Getting a little too excited about my story with Christina. Don't worry, Graveyard Shift. The new story will be read no matter what. Thank you, Graveyard Shift. Those are so cute. Thank you, Kiger. I appreciate that. Hi, Halls. Jamie, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the port. Lovely. Are you part of the Discord? Yes, every Monday, I premiere a new story live on my YT at 7 p.m. Hi, Catherine. Andrew, they're not too scary. They're like, are you afraid of the dark? Goosebumps level. They're just spooky. They're not really scary. They're just spooky. They're just like weird or like spooky. They're not like horrifying. And it's usually supernatural, paranormal. It's not like scary humans usually. Hi, Jabbo. Yes, Mackenzie, it is. It's new story night. Hello, Chris Kaufman. My name is Devin, and I am telling the tales. And you said you have narcolepsy, so you're an expert critic. That's funny. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Nail Kim. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. Thanks for the follow. Yes, I do, Jade. Sugar, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Hilarious. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you. I love that bighorn. God, he's cute. Oh my gosh, Holly, yay. You guys, Holly bought one of the koozies from the Porch Lore merch site, and she got the Mothman on the mobile Mothman where he's on his cell phone. And she just said that people at the hotel loved it. So guess what? I do have koozies ready for summer with funny Mothman and all kinds of different cryptids on them in the merch store. So feel free to check them out. They are also affordable. So if you can't afford a bunch of the other bigger, higher priced items, a little koozie would be a great way to, have some porch material, porch merch. I'm so bad at selling things. I am not a salesperson. I am not a saleswoman. I'm not a business person. I'm an artist. Hi, Sparkle Tree. Thank you, Holly. That's so sweet. Thank you for the coral, Trisha. Thank you for the capybara swimming. I love that. God, they're so cute. Thank you, Graveyard Shift. Hi, Diamante. Oh, thanks, Mackenzie. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay, you guys, the first poll is ready. You like the grilled cheese PJs? Aren't they great? Thanks. Thank you. Everybody asked for those, actually. I would have probably never thought about, like, I mean, eventually maybe, but y'all are the ones that were like, can you make grilled cheese pajamas? I was like, yeah. And then Reverend requested a grilled cheese pillow. And I was like, sure thing. So if any of you guys that got the grilled cheese merch get it, could you guys post pictures in the Discord of it? Because I would love to see the house sitting nightmare. I'm not sure which one that is, Glossette. You'd have to look at the story list that I posted on Discord and tell me which one that is. Because, like, I say the title at the beginning of every video, but the one it's titled on YT is just for search engine stuff, so that's not the actual title of the story. Hi, Echo. And thank you for someone who scanned my QR code. Thank you. Hi, Santo. Thank you, Echo. I love those ones. I actually have that one over here. Okay, you guys, I have the poll ready. We had a lot of requests for camper van tonight, which surprises me a little bit. We have the camper van, the Dear Woman of Oklahoma, the Rain Crow Shelter, which is about the Appalachian Trail, the Fresno Night Crawlers, and Huggin' Molly. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. It's the blue box, and you can vote 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. And Faye, don't worry, there isn't a QR code over here. I was just saying that because over on the cross-streaming thing, it lets me put one up on the screen for the merch site, and it shows me when someone checks out my merch site. None of those, Anna. I tell the new story at midnight on Mondays. And Smacks, the grilled cheese story is the last story of the night. I tell that one every night. That's the only one I tell every night. Okay, Glassa, I wrote it down. JK. Emo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And what do you mean? You said like to put on purse. What does that mean? On purses? What are you talking about, Alexa? Or, oh wait, your name's not Alexa. I always call you the wrong name. I'm sorry. It's you. Hi, cutie. What put on purses? Hi, Nancy. Kid sizes, no, but I could make kid stuff. Oh my God, that's a cute idea. Do you want some kid stuff, Lady Rose? What do you want? I didn't even think of that because I don't have kids, so that's a great idea. That's so cute. Oh, the pins. Yeah, I can't. Okay, I didn't see the pin part. I would love to make the pins. However, well, there are buttons. There's already buttons. Those are pins, but they're like the button style because the pins, I would have to send in a design, then I have to order like units, like 200 at a time or something crazy. Like it's like a individually designed from a design, like it's not like the way the other items are. And there's a couple items that are like that. The pins are like that for some reason. The stuffed animals are like that for some reason. And there's a few others. And so I can try eventually, but it's going to be like a 200 pin purchase commitment from me. So right now those aren't like at the top of my list, but I would love to, or maybe I can find a different site that will make them for us. So I'll look into it for sure because Misty's been asking for pins as well. Graveyard, my new one premieres on YT every Monday at 7 p.m. So it's already on there. It premiered at 7. Thank you, Suzanne. And single one of my stories besides the holiday and the Are You Afraid of the Dark go on my YT. And the winner is the Raincrow Shelter, which is surprising. Thanks, Graveyard. Hi, it's a Madhouse. Hi, welcome back. I don't even know how to do that rhyme. The winner is Raincrow Shelter. Lovely. Did you hear that? Yeah, no one's heard this one, Holly, because you know why? Because I put it on the polls all the time. Ask Lovely. I sneak it in the polls all the time and no one votes for it. So this is very surprising to me. That's why I'm excited, because Raincrow Shelter never wins. And I don't know why. I guess it's not really one that people liked very much, but I like it. And it's about the Appalachian Trail. And I love ones that are about the Appalachian Mountains. So I'm very excited. Thanks for voting for it, guys. Wait, I was in a live yesterday and they were listening to you. Really? You weren't alive and someone was listening to me? Thank you, Graveyard Shift, for all the hand hearts. Really? Helen, who? I feel so cool right now. I feel really cool. Who? What? What were they listening to? I feel very cool. Ramen, thank you. Helen, you just made my night. I'm feeling very cool right now. Someone, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me more details. Oh, thanks, Carmen. Good idea, rhyme. Yeah, Vampy, that's the other reason, is a lot of times people fall asleep, so they don't hear a lot of the stories. Hi, Ness. Okay, guys, I will be right back with Raincrow Shelter. That's so interesting, Helen. Huh. I love that. That's so cool. Thanks. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Oh, Suzanne reached level 32. Oh my God, Suzanne. And Graveyard, thank you again for all those hand hearts. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for the Go Populars and Cozy Cryptids. I will be right back with the Tale of Raincrow Shelter. Charlie, thank you for the follow. Laura, thank you for the corgi. Laura, thanks for the level up. Thank you, Suzanne. I love that one. And yes, Omar, very kind. Hi, Leslie. That capybara is so cute. By the way, welcome back, Feynor. We've missed you. I'm glad you're back. Oh, you did, Helen? Thanks. Oh, wait, Kelly. Kelly, I sent a message telling you who's live your stories are played in. Oh my God, you did, Kelly? Okay. I need to check that out. Thank you. Okay, Kelly, I just read your message and oh my God, that's so sweet. Oh my God. You'll have to send me her profile so I can follow her. That's so sweet and kind. Oh my gosh. I thought you were gonna, honestly, you guys, I really need to work on like the self-talk because I literally, when you said you messaged me privately about it, I literally thought you were gonna message me and be like, so like I thought you were gonna say they were like watching my stories and making fun of them or something. And I got super nervous, so I went and checked it right away. And she said that Margaret and you got her hooked on the story, so she's been going live with my stories on in the background. That's just incredible. That's okay, Pippa, you're right on time. I'm running behind today. But I was super on top of it last night, so I'm working on it, guys. Oh my God, thank you, Suzanne. That's adorable. Hi, Steven. What was right in a row, Timberly? I did give you guys an extra hour last night, Holly. I forgot about that. We were having a great time last night, so I figured why not? You have your 3 setting tap light. I love that. What setting do you have it on? Thank you, Lily. You're the best. You're so sweet. Thank you, Graveyard. I know, Justin. My heart is so full. Like the growth of the porch, I don't even think you guys understand. What do you mean TikTok news reporting? Thank you, Vixen. You're so sweet. Welcome in, Gardening Vixen. I love that name. You guys, I am never going to get over these capybaras. I can't believe they have gifts that are my favorite animal. I feel so lucky. Thanks, JK. Hi, Candy Shop. Yeah, the kitty paw. Thanks, Lily. I love that kitty paw. It scratches. Oh, Mace, you mean past midnight your time? Are you on a different time zone? I used to stay on a lot later until I started doing the merch, and then I'm just like burning the candle at both ends. Hi, Anna. Hi, James. Glenda, I just really like the ram, and I'm not an Aries. I just really like it. I'm an Aries rising, though. Oh, that's okay, Mace. I figured, don't be sorry. I figured that's what you meant. Oh, well, good, Anita. You're supposed to fall asleep in here, so that's perfect. Hi, Rochelle. That's so funny, Anna. I love that. Making you want pizza. I want pizza too. That's okay, Rochelle. I'm running late too, so you haven't missed a thing. All right, you guys. This actually won the poll. Yay! Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the names in the logbook, also known as Raincrow Shelter. Oh yeah, James Capybara is my favorite animal. Has been since I was 7. Captain Obvious, thanks. Hi, Ethel. I'm so sorry. It was rough. Guys, Ethel needs some extra love tonight. Thank you for the meerkat. Thanks, Lily. I wasn't supposed to still be on the trail that late. I had started the day with a clear plan. An easy section. Steady pace, make it to the next town before dark. I'd even checked the weather that morning. Light rain maybe, but nothing dramatic. By mid-afternoon, the sky changed in a way that I did not like. It didn't roll in gradually. There wasn't that slow cinematic buildup of clouds stacking on the horizon. It just flattened, like someone had taken the entire sky and pressed it down closer to the earth. Thank you, Michelle. We're glad to have you back, Michelle. The light dimmed, not darker exactly, just muted, like the color was drained out of everything. I remember stopping on the trail and looking up through the trees and feeling that quiet, creeping certainty that I had misjudged something. And then the wind hit, hard and sudden. It pushed through the branches in a way that made the whole forest sound like it was breathing. Leaves flipped, trunks creaked, and somewhere in the distance, something cracked, sharp and loud, enough that I flinched. And that's when I checked my map again. Rain Crow Shelter, less than 2 miles ahead. I hadn't planned to stop there. It wasn't on my itinerary. But the idea of pushing another 6 miles in worsening weather suddenly felt stupid. The kind of decision you regret halfway through making it. So, I turned my focus forward and I picked up the pace. The rain started before I made it a 1/4 mile. At first, it was just a mist. Fine enough that it barely registered. But then, it thickened. Heavy drops, fast and cold, soaking through my jacket. The trail turned slick under my boots, mud grabbing at each step, pulling me off balance. I don't like being rushed in the woods. Everything feels louder when you are. My breathing, my footsteps, the way your pack shifts and creaks, it all starts to feel like noise that you can't control. And something about that makes you hyper aware of everything else around you. Thank you, Suzanne. By the time I saw the sign for Rain Crow Shelter, the storm had fully settled in. It's so cute. God, he's so cute. I love the way he spins. Thunder rolled somewhere behind the ridge. Not sharp and not immediate, just a low, constant rumble. The path to the shelter branched off the main trail, narrow and slightly overgrown that I almost missed it. Right, Spiritual? They're so cute. The wooden sign was old. The lettering faded enough that I had to step close to read it. Rain Crow Shelter, 0.1 miles. I remember thinking the name felt appropriate. The walk down to it was steeper than I expected. The ground dipped and then leveled out into a small clearing surrounded by thick trees. And there it was. The shelter looked like most of them do along that stretch of the Appalachian Trail. 3 wooden walls, open front, and a slanted roof built to shed rain. Weathered but sturdy, built to last. And then I realized there were already people there. 4 of them. And that surprised me. Not because shelters don't get crowded, they do, but this section of the trail wasn't busy that time of year. And with the storm rolling in, I hadn't expected anybody to have gotten ahead of it. They were spread out across the interior, each with their own space. Packs lined up against the back wall, boots set neatly near the edge to dry. The kind of quiet organization you only see from people who have been doing this a long time. No one looked up right away when I stepped in, and that struck me as odd. Hikers usually acknowledge each other, even if it's just a nod, some small recognition that you're sharing space, sharing circumstance. Here, it felt like I had walked into something already in progress. I shook off as much water as I could, and I set my pack down near the entrance. The air was warmer than outside, but not by much. It held on to the dampness, filled with the musty smell of old wet wood and moss. Eventually, one of them glanced over at me, a man. Older, maybe late 50s, lean. His beard was streaked with gray, and his jacket worn in a way that suggested years of use. He gave me a small nod, and I returned it. And that was the extent of it. No introductions, no small talk, just an understanding that I was there now. I told myself it was fine. Some hikers are like that. Reserved, focused inward. But I'm a social butterfly. I started unpacking my gear, laying things out to dry, moving with that familiar routine that comes from repetition. It helped ground me, gave me something to focus on other than the storm hammering the roof overhead. The others barely moved. That was the next thing I noticed. No shifting, no adjusting. No small unconscious movements, just stillness. The older man sat near the back wall, his hands resting on his knees. Across from him, a younger guy, mid-20s, leaned against his pack, staring out into the rain. Thank you, Carmen. And there was a woman near the corner, her hair pulled back, her clothes dark and damp, but not dripping. Another man sat near the entrance closest to me, his boots already off and lined up neatly beside him. I tried not to stare, but I was just trying to assess my surroundings. They must have been there longer than me and already settled in. Already past the restless part of waiting out a storm. Time stretched in that quiet way it does when there's nothing else to do but exist in it. The rain didn't let up. If anything, it got heavier. Water poured off the edge of the roof in steady sheets. The ground was just beyond the shelter turned into a shallow, rippling pool. The forest beyond blurred into shifting gray. I pulled out a protein bar and I ate it slowly. More for something to do than because I was hungry. At some point, the woman shifted slightly. Just enough to look at me. There was something in her expression I couldn't place. Not unfriendly, but not welcoming either. Just aware. Like she'd been watching longer than I had realized. I gave a small, polite smile, but she didn't return it. She just held the look for a second longer than felt normal. And then she just turned back toward the rain. I told myself it was nothing. But slowly I started noticing other things. Their gear. It looked older and not just worn, but like outdated. Like the kind of packs you don't see anymore. The fabrics, the designs, even the colors felt off, like they belonged to a different era. I tried to brush it off. People use all kinds of gear out here, and some stick with what they know, and some people prefer older equipment. As the evening settled in, the light outside faded faster than it should have. And the storm thickened, and darkness swallowed what little remained of the daylight. I set up my sleeping bag, changed into dry clothes, and I tried to settle in. No one lit a lantern. No one pulled out a headlamp. No flashlights. The shelter just stayed dim. There was enough ambient light filtering in from the storm that I could still make out shapes, outlines during lightning strikes, but it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't the kind of light you choose. And yet no one changed it. We all just sat there in silent darkness. And that's when I noticed the logbook. It sat near the entrance, tucked into a small metal box to keep it dry. Standard for most shelters along the trail. A place for hikers to leave notes, track who's passed through, share small pieces of information. I grabbed it and I flipped it open. The pages were damp, edges slightly curled from humidity. The most recent entry was from earlier that day, a list of names, and I recognized them immediately. Not personally, but like the kind of recognition that just sits out of reach. Like a word you can't quite recall. I just somehow knew I recognized those names. Some of the names repeated, which I thought was odd. Hikers pass through, but they don't usually circle back that quickly, at least not on this stretch of the trail. I glanced up and the others still hadn't moved, not even a glance in my direction. I closed the book and I set it back. Something about that logbook made me uneasy. Night settled in fully after that, and the storm never broke. It just continued, steady, relentless. I laid in my sleeping bag listening to it, letting the sound fill the space where thoughts might have gone. I must have fallen asleep at some point, because I remember waking once in the middle of the night to a strange, heavy quiet. The rain had stopped completely. No wind, no movement in the trees, just silence. I opened my eyes and the shelter was darker than before. And for a moment, I couldn't tell where anyone was. Then my eyes adjusted, and they were all still there, in the same positions, exactly the same. The older man and the younger one, the woman and the one near the entrance. None of them were lying down. None of them were sleeping. They were all just sitting there, awake, facing forward in the pitch black silence. I closed my eyes again and told myself not to overthink it. I told myself I was tired and that everything feels stranger when you wake up half asleep in the middle of the night. Forgiveness. Eventually, I fell asleep again. And when I woke for real, it was finally morning. A clear sky, bright sunshine. The storm had passed completely and sunlight filtered through the trees. Warm and normal in a way that almost made the night feel imagined. I sat up slowly, and the shelter was empty. Completely. No packs, no boots, no people, nothing. But my gear was exactly where I'd left it, and the logbook was still by the entrance. Everything else was gone. I stepped outside, and there were no footprints. Not theirs, not even mine from the night before. Just smooth, wet earth. Yeah, Lola, everybody's been having problems with comment filtering. It's not just you. I packed up quickly after that. I didn't linger. I told myself maybe they just left early before sunrise. Some hikers do that. It wasn't impossible. It just didn't feel right. I finished my hike that day in a kind of quiet autopilot. Moving forward because that's what you do. By the time I reached town, the whole thing felt distant. Manageable, explainable. Until later that night, when I remembered the logbook. So I decided to look it up. Rain Grow Shelter, Appalachian Trail Records, local archives, anything I could find. And it didn't take long. There had been incidents, disappearances, unexplained, hikers who checked in at that shelter and never checked out. Search efforts that turned up nothing. No gear, no remains, just gaps in the trail's long memory. As I looked at the list of names of those who have disappeared on the trail, I recognized some immediately. The older man, the younger one, the woman. They matched the names in the logbook, matched the dates. Not recent, years apart, decades in some cases. They were all people who had gone missing along that exact stretch of the trail. And all of them were last recorded at Rain Crow Shelter. And that's the tale of the names in the logbook, also known as Rain Crow Shelter. And I'm so sorry, Howie. Sending you all the love. I'm really sorry. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Archangelo. And thank you, Lovely, for suggesting it again. Thank you, Heather, for the Cozy Cryptids. And Don, thank you for the Cozy Cryptids and the Populars. Thanks, Candy Shop. Thanks, Khaleesi. Okay, you guys, the next poll is ready. And we have the Librarian, the Lake Worth Monster, the Clover Door, the Door in the Water, and the Tree People. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. Thanks, Thay. There's a blue box. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? We have the Librarian, the Lake Worth Monster, the Clover Door, the Door in the Water, which is the Selkie story, and the Tree People. Hi, Cable. And yes, I'm doing it. Not right now, but at midnight I will. That was a close one. And the winner is... Okay, Nippo. Well, unfortunately, that one only got a few votes. But the winner is... It was close. It was between the tree people and the clover door. And the winner is... the clover door. Now, the clover door is a story that I wrote especially for St. Patrick's Day, just for the St. Patrick's Day Live. So it doesn't get requested that often, and the OGs, like Michelle, request it because they remember the holiday ones. But it's not available anywhere except for on the live. Aw, thanks, Michelle. I'm actually really proud of this one. I also wanted to say that I wrote this story for the porch pals who struggle with addiction, any kind. But this one, especially because I know St. Patrick's Day is a hard time for people who struggle with alcohol dependency. And so I wrote this story for any of you who are working on your sober journey or taking it day by day or are totally sober for years. This one is for you guys, and I did write it and tell it on St. Patrick's Day because I know that it's a very hard day for people who are sober, and I have a lot of friends that are sober. I myself can't claim that I understand that I've never really been in a situation like where I had to become sober, but I have very close loved ones who have struggled with that their whole lives, and so this one's for you guys because it's an illness. It's not a character flaw. And I want to break the stigma of people thinking it's something wrong with you. You're some druggie, you're some alcoholic, it is not a character flaw. It's an illness. And a lot of times the best people I've ever known try to numb themselves from this cruel, effed up world we live in. So it does not mean you have bad character. Just want to remind you guys of that. And thanks, Dawn. So anyway, I may not be sober or an addict myself, but I am an empath, and I feel like it is one of the underrated struggles that people don't get a lot of sympathy and they get a lot of stigma instead, and it's not right. So sending you guys all my love, and this is my story for you guys. It's not easy, and I know that, Suzanne. It's an everyday struggle for you guys. So this is just a reminder to all of you guys out there who are in that daily struggle. We're proud of you, and I acknowledge that I know how hard it is for you guys. So this story is for you. I'll be right back with the tale of the Clover Door. Yes, Elizabeth. I try to go through during the live when I can and follow people that I engage with regularly, because it's so many people during the live that follow me that are newbies that like it gets lost in the, and unless you like message me or something, you know what I mean? And I like want to get to know you guys. So thanks for being my friend. Because I try to follow back everybody who's super engages in the chat, because I love you guys and I feel like you guys are my family. Yeah, Spiritual Diamond. Hi, Sylvia. You totally fangirled when I followed you. Oh, Holly, that makes me feel really cool. You're so cute. That makes me feel super cool. The best part is like my voice is kind of like I have resting bitch face, but oh, of course, DJ, and I'm so proud of you guys. Take it one day at a time. But I have resting bitch face, but I also have like, I guess, resting bitch voice. So like my voice is very bitchy sounding. Like it does sound monotone, and a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, that's really awesome. And people will be like, geez, I thought it was, I'm like, no, I really mean it. Like that's so cool. You know, like I'm very, and so I feel like you guys can tell when I genuinely, like my voice gives me away when I'm being like, you know, and wait, what your bar person? What's my bar personality? Oh, thank you, Gardening Vixen. And so just now when you said you fangirled, I got so giddy. You could like hear it in my voice. I'm like, thanks. Makes me feel so cool. Oh, thanks, Scarlett. Thank you, Corey. I was just saying, like, you can tell genuinely through my voice what the expression's on my face. You know what I mean? Thanks, Sasha. Like, you can tell, you can hear the smile in the voice, which I think is interesting. Just pet that dog, right, Glinda? Aw, thanks, Lola. Yeah, I only know how to be me. I'll tell you what. It's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, Aqua, I'm the same exact way. People are always like, you know, when I first met you, I was so scared of you. Or when I first met you, I thought you were a bitch. Or like, when I first met you, I thought you were going to be mean. And I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. And I can't be mean if you FAFO. But my default setting is super kind, earth fairy, witch, hippie, you know what I mean? Like, loves all animals, living creatures. But then, you know. Oh my God, Brittany, really? I'm so happy. Nikki said people say that to me, but it's true. Well, that's what I said. I was like, sometimes I can. I'm playing on her live right now. Aww. That's so sweet. So does she play from my YT or is she playing my live? Thanks, Lola. Just pet that dog. I feel really cool. Uh-oh, Elizabeth. How'd you get backed into a corner? How'd you get backed in a corner? Oh no. I don't know, Kim. I don't know, but she said that one of their friends got hooked on Porch Stories and she plays my YT stories in the background of her lives lately, like the way you have before. And I'm like, okay. Because at first I thought, because she's like, I private messaged you about it and somebody's playing your lives. And I was like, uh-oh. And I thought she was going to tell me somebody was like making fun of my stories or something. And then it was like this girl who's like trying to help spread the word and she's playing my stories in her background. And I was like, that's so sweet. You seem very cool and laid back, but can be the life of the occasion. What does that mean? Her name is Felicia, Kelly said. That's so nice. Hi, CJ. Oh no, CJ ran out of chalky today. I just went to Costco today too. I could have gotten some. Oh, Suzanne, I used to work at the nightclubs, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wasn't a bar person. I was like a straight up club rat, like like for a long time in my life, like my teens and 20s, like straight up club girl. I'm not gonna lie about it, and I still am in my heart. Like when those songs come on, I'm not gonna lie. When the songs from those club days come on, I just wanna turn that switch back on. Turn on that wild side. You were a club rat too, yeah. And I'm not even like, I don't mean like low key. I mean like it was my life. Oh my God, thanks, Brittany. 2 different capybara swims. Thanks, Rochelle. Echo, thanks for the furry friends. Oh, Corn. You too, Carmen, yeah. No, I didn't Jersey Shore fist bump, but I lived in Hollywood. And I worked at the nightclubs as the door girl with the clipboard like Samantha from Sex and the City. So if that gives you any indication of what my life was like and my social standing in that world of socialites, it was a fun. I had a lot of fun. I had too much fun. Probably not, Holly. I was a bitch. Probably not. One time I told a guy that his Porsche was a basic piece of shit. I was a totally different person back then, so yeah, probably not. I had a different life back then. And then I got humbled. So, that's what a good spiritual awakening will do. It'll humble the shit out of you. But I've still got the stories. I still know the people. A Devon After Dark story. Maze, how do you know about Devon After Dark? That's one of the account names I took just so I had it and nobody else did. Because that was gonna, you guys want to know what's so funny is that was gonna be the original name of Porch Lore. Devon After Dark. I told you guys? Oh, that was gonna be the original name of Porch Lore, and it was gonna be like After Dark, bedtime stories. And then every single one of my friends was like, dude, that sounds like porn. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, I immediately think that that's something else. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, Kim. Thank you. Yeah, Kim. And I guess what? I'm like, what? Because I'm not a porn girly. I this is an unpopular opinion, but I think it's cringy as fuck, and they aren't even good at it. And I feel like I have better than that, and I don't like watching. It's like cringy as shit. Like, they're trashy and weird. So like, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Doesn't mean I'm a prude. I'm definitely not a prude, but I don't. So I'm not like, and that was not ever something I thought of. And I was like, yeah, Devon After Dark. And straight up, every single one of my friends was like, that can't work. That can't work. Yeah, Anna. And it's like, whenever I say I don't like the corn videos, people immediately assume I'm a prude. And I'm like, honestly, no offense, but most of the people I know who like that are the prudes. Because they're not that good at it in real life. So they have to like watch people who do really wild, cringy shit instead. It's... Right, Penny, and that's exactly right. Pittsburgh Penny, that's exactly right. Is I thought Devon After Dark would be catchy because I love alliteration, and I am after dark telling the story, and then everybody, and I'm like, people are such pervs. I can't even, I can't even just do some like, can't even use alliteration with my name. So instead, I'm Porch Lore with Devon. But guess what? Devon After Dark sounds way better. It just sounds cooler. And you'd be shocked how many people have asked me what lore means, which really blew my mind because I was not expecting that one when I picked the name. I was absolutely not expecting people to ask me what lore meant. But it does, right? It sounds better, right? Spiritual Diamond, Devon After Dark sounds better. I love alliteration. But I didn't want to get a bunch of like those kinds of trolls and like I wasn't after the thirsty dude crowd, which is actually pretty dumb because those guys, like, have you ever seen those guys in like the battles and stuff? Just dropping like universes. Maybe then I'd get a stupid pink banner. I know, Glinda, you're right. I would have needed some heavy mod hands to keep that name. So did I, Sherry. I thought lore was just well known, and everybody was like, not everybody, but I've had a couple people ask me, which blew my mind. Thanks, DJ. Wait, all right, bro. I almost died today, and the chat is roasting me. You messed up. Wait, the chat isn't roasting you, are they? They're just saying you would like Devon After Dark, and that's true. I mean, you made your bed, boo-boo. Yeah, Penny, I guess you're right. Thanks, Mackenzie. Okay, anyway, enough. Okay, good, CJ. I was about to get defensive of you. I was about to be like, CJ, you guys be nice to CJ. Don't you? I was coming in having your back. I was like, you know what? Yeah, everybody loves you in here, CJ. We literally freak out when you're not in here. Ask anybody. It's low-key embarrassing how much we freak out. We're like, where's CJ? Oh my God, where's CJ? Can somebody get him in here? Where's CJ? I didn't know what it meant, but that's what lured you in. I love that. But see, then you figured out it was folklore, right? Or did you still not know until right now? Because I just assumed. I thought people knew that, and you'd be okay, yeah. And Ness, I'm like, you're not alone. Like, I've had a large number of people ask me, like, hey, what's the lore? And a lot of people in person, like when I've told people about like my show in person, like the plumber the other day, he came to unclog my kitchen sink and I was wearing my porch lore sweatshirt and he's like, is that you? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, what's lore? And I was like, because I was like, lore, you tell on the porch. He's like, what's lore? I was like folklore. Like, and then he asked me, he didn't know what folklore was. And I was like, am I living in, wait. And then I realized not everybody knows what that is. So I was like, stories, tales. Yes. I was like, interesting. Yeah, Lacey, that's so funny, Matt. Matt said, at least he didn't ask what a porch was. No, he was really nice. And his name was Virgil, which I feel like I've literally never met a single person in my life named Virgil until that guy on Thursday. Virgil. And he was like in his 20s, maybe early 30s. He wasn't like 78. I know, see, isn't that a great name? He had a name tag. Like, he had one of those plumber shirts that has the patch sewed in with his name. And I for a second thought it was like he was being ironic, and it was like when he found it at a thrift store, or something. And then I was like, what's your name? And he points at it like, duh. And he's like, Virgil. And I was like, oh, that's your name. Oh, your name really is, that's actually your name. And I love it. And I told him, I was like, dude, I love that. That's an old fashioned ass name. And he was like, yeah. I think it was he said it was something about his grandpa. But like Virgil, I know. And I was like, and he had curly ass red hair, like a full head of really nice auburn locks for a dude. And I was like, when he left, I was like, catch you later, Virgil. But anybody else in here, I'm interested to know, if you know someone named, okay, Rebecca said, yeah. If you know someone named Virgil, tell me in the chat. I bet you there's going to be like maybe 4 people out of 400. Because literally I used to work and I meet 300 people a night in my job, and I've never met a Virgil. You do? Oh my God. Okay, so everybody's grandpa. Your sister's ex-boyfriend, did she call him like Virgie? I know no one. Okay. You're cracking up, see, right? Because it's like, it really threw me for a loop. You did it at the nursing home. Yeah, like grandpa's. This kid was like in his 20s and red curly hair. And I was like, Virgie, yeah, Verge. Hey, Verge. And so I just felt like I thought I should bring it up. I don't know why. I just feel like it'd be funny because I'm a silly goosey. And yeah, Sheena said tomorrow everyone's going to meet a Virgil. But anyway, I'm on the verge. Good one, Brittany. Is this Yap Talk? I like that, CJ. Yap Talk is great. Yap Talk. Good old Verge, Ness. Good old Verge. All right, sorry, guys. Back to the Clover door. Anyway, I'll be right back. Quick swig. Kim said that's diabolical. Paige and Christina, are you still in here? Do you see what you did? Did you see that CJ just said, love you, diva? You did this, Christina. You brought my high school nickname into the porch. And you're right, guys. Now I definitely need to write a story with someone named Virgil. But I feel like that makes it sound like such a fake character because everyone's going to hear it and go, who the hell knows anyone named Virgil? Yeah. A Virgil emoji. I hope he's not listening. I totally told him to find me and listen. He's probably listening, like mortified. But Virgil, you were so sweet and cute. And I love you. You did such a good job on the sync. And we both laughed about how his name was very old-fashioned and uncommon. But Virgin Chili. Melinda. A spooky story about a redheaded named Virgil going to unclog your sink. Gilly. Or Jilly, Virgil. Jilly. I am cackling. My stomach hurts. On Dancing Star, I love that. And Virgil does seem like a sweet person name. And I'll tell you, the first one I've ever met was a doll, a sweetest dude. So, from going off my experience right now, yes, sweethearts. Got Krista to laugh. Oh, sorry, Anna's laughing so hard she's gonna wake up her husband. Christina's back. Christina's Gilly Chili for sure. By the way, Christina, did you see that CJ calls me Diva now because of you sharing my high school nickname with the Porch Pals? Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the last call at the Clover door. Can I also just say that Virgie, when I imagine it like a 1940s or a 30s mobster.
Oh, Virgie. Oh, Virgie, you're so silly. Oh, Virgie. Don't mind Virgie. He just gets angry.
You're talking about. Thanks, Justin. It's like a Betty Boop. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, sent you the entire story. Like, this is the tale of the Clover Door. Sorry, Don. I can't. I laugh like a chipmunk. I have like the most like repetitive chipmunk laugh. And be like, oh shucks, Virgie. You didn't have to do all that. Give me my fizzy water. Be like, I don't know, but Virgie hit him right in the kisser. I can't. Okay, enough silly goosey. And yes, I brought the fizzy water in. You guys know I love to call it that. Okay. Thank you, Victoria. Welcome in. Yeah, better be quiet before I call my man Virgie to whack you. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the last call at the Clover Door. Yeah, Beefy loves it when I talk about my fizzy water. Hi, Jackson. Last call from Virgie. Stop it. Can't stop laughing, you guys. All right. I wasn't supposed to go out that night. That was the agreement that I had made with myself sometime mid-afternoon, sitting at my kitchen table with a glass I hadn't finished and a phone full of messages that I hadn't answered. St. Patrick's Day had a way of turning into something else for me. Something less like a celebration and more like an excuse that I already didn't need. I told myself I would stay in, order food, watch something mindless, and let the night pass just like any other. But as the light started to fade and the noise from outside crept in, the distant laughter, the music bleeding through the walls, that familiar hum of people already a few drinks ahead of themselves, I felt that pull. Not strong and not overwhelming, but consistent. Like something I'd followed enough times that my body didn't need permission anymore. By the time I realized I'd made a decision, I was already walking. I didn't even grab my jacket. I didn't even check the time. I just stepped out and let the noise guide me. The streets were exactly what you would expect. Green everywhere, plastic beads, faces flushed from cold air and cheaper liquor. Every bar spilling over, every doorway packed, every laugh just a little too loud. I moved through it without stopping, past places that I'd been before, places that would have welcomed me without question. But that wasn't what I wanted. I was looking for something quieter, something that didn't feel like it was trying so hard. I don't remember even turning down that street. One second I was in the middle of it all, and the next, it was all gone. In the distance, like someone had turned the volume down. The street I found myself on was narrower and older. The kind of place where the buildings lean slightly. No decorations and no crowds. Just a few dim lights and a silence that didn't really match the night. And that's where I saw the bar. The sign hung crooked above the door, paint chipped, wood darkened from years of weather. The Clover Door. I stood there for a second, trying to place it. I've lived in this city long enough to know most of these spots worth knowing, and this wasn't one of them. Curious, I pushed the door open. And the first thing I noticed was the quiet. Not empty and not dead, just contained. There were people inside, maybe a dozen, scattered along the bar and a few small tables. But there was no music, just low conversation. The clink of glass, the soft scrape of wood against wood. It felt older than it should have. And not in a themed way, not in a curated vintage kind of sense. Just actually old and untouched. The bartender looked up as I stepped in, didn't smile, just nodded with acknowledgement. I took a seat at the bar. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. A glass just appeared in front of me a few seconds later, already poured, already waiting for me. And that should have felt strange, but it didn't. I figured it was just some St. Patrick's Day drink special. I picked it up and I took a sip. And it tasted right. Too right. Smoother than anything I had had in a long time. Hi, Mothman. Welcome in. I let out a slow breath. That familiar easing. The one I had been chasing for longer than I wanted to admit. For a while, nothing felt off. It crept in, piece by piece, subtle enough that I didn't really question it until it was already too late to pretend like it wasn't happening. The man sitting 2 stools down from me caught my attention first. Not because he did anything unusual, because he didn't. He'd been in the same position since I walked in. Glass in hand, elbow on the bar, head tilted slightly downward. I watched him for a minute, then 2, and he didn't move. He didn't even blink. I looked away and I told myself I was reading too much into it. But then I noticed almost everyone in the bar was hardly moving. Every person in the room was just slightly off. Their movements when they happened were small and repetitive. The bartender wiped the same section of the bar over and over again, like it was playing on repeat. I took another sip. I set the glass down, and the sound echoed more than it should have. And that's when the man beside me spoke. "First time here?" His voice sounded normal. I turned slightly. He was looking at me now. "Yeah, you could say that," I said. He nodded. "Most people don't find this place on purpose." What does that mean? He didn't answer immediately. He just lifted his glass and looked at it and then back at me. And he said, "You ever wake up and realize you don't even remember getting home?" He asked. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. He nodded again, like that was answer enough. "Yeah," he said quietly, "me too." He turned his body slightly toward me, more engaged now, more present than anyone else in the bar. "What were you driving?" he asked. And the question landed harder than it should have. He leaned back slightly and exhaled. "I told myself I was fine. Every time. But it only takes once to be wrong." Then the lights in the bar flickered, not dramatically, just enough to shift the shadows a bit. Then suddenly the lights steadied and everything seemed normal. "What is this place?" I asked. The man looked at me for a long moment and then he said, "It's where the night stops." I didn't understand. "St. Patrick's Day," he continued. "Biggest drinking night of the year in a lot of places." He gestured loosely around the room. "Everyone here thought they had one more in them." My stomach dropped, slow and heavy. "They didn't mean to," he added. "None of us do." And that word hit me. Us. I wasn't one of them. Was I? And that's when I stood up from my chair. I stepped back from the bar. My heart beating faster now. "I'm leaving," I said. The man nodded. "Yeah. Well, you still can." I turned toward the door and I reached for it, my hand closing around the handle, and I hesitated, thinking of all the lives lost on this very night, due to thinking they still had one more in them. And then I pulled the door open and I stepped through, and immediately the noise hit me, loud, bright, alive. The streets were exactly how I left them, crowds, music, laughter, everything in motion. I stood there for a second, catching my breath and trying to ground myself. I turned around and the clover door behind me was gone. No sign, no door, no bar. Just a blank stretch of old cobblestone wall between two buildings that didn't quite line up. I turned in a slow circle trying to reorient myself, and that's when I saw it. Down the street, a small crowd had gathered at an intersection. Not celebrating, just standing and looking. I moved closer, and then I saw why. Flashing lights, red and blue, an ambulance, a police car, and a vehicle wrapped around a pole. Front end completely collapsed inward, glass scattered across the pavement. Jackson. And near the edge of the scene, there was a stretcher, and someone was lying on it, covered and still. There was a paramedic speaking quietly to someone just out of frame. I didn't get any closer. I didn't need to. I already understood what that man in the bar had meant. It only takes once to be wrong. I looked back over my shoulder, and there it was, the clover door again, as I saw that man open the door and go inside. I didn't drink the rest of that night. I didn't drink after that. I didn't go into another bar, and I haven't had a drink since. And not because I'm afraid of what I saw, not exactly. It's because I can't shake the feeling that it wasn't random. It felt like a warning, a line that I hadn't crossed yet. But I came closer to every time I convinced myself that I was fine. Every time I told myself I could handle one more. But sometimes late at night, when everything gets quiet and I start to crave a drink, I think about the clover door and all those people. If I had taken one more sip, if I had stayed just a little longer, would I have ever left at all? Or would I still be there, sitting at that bar, glass in hand, waiting for someone else to walk through that door so I could ask them the same question? So, what were you driving? And that's the tale of the clover door. And that one goes out to all of our porch pals who are sober, working on being sober, struggling on being sober, or struggling with addiction. Sending you guys love. Thank you, Nippon. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Ethel. Thanks, Suzanne. Yeah, that's a deep one, right? Shy, thanks. Spooky, but deep. Thank you, yeah. That's one of my, Michelle's right. That's honestly probably one of my favorite stories I've ever written. I'm really, really proud of it. And I'm not going to lie, when I wrote it, it made me really emotional. And it's also one of the only stories of mine where I read it to my dad and he was like, holy shit, kiddo. That's really profound. Like, my dad really liked it. So, yeah. So what were you driving? Yeah. So thank you guys. I'm very proud of that one. That was the St. Patrick's Day special holiday story that I wrote. And that's why I think I will put the holiday ones up on YT eventually or soon, because some of them, like that one, I think are really good. Aw, Lily, I'm sending them all the love. Sending you all the love. Thank you, Jersey. Yeah, that one was only read on St. Patrick's Day. And then whenever somebody like Michelle, who's an OG, requests it. But it's one of my favorites. So thank you, Michelle, for requesting it. And thank you, everybody who voted for it. And with that, Christina, are you here? Christina! You like that, Kim? Where's Christina? Good night, Lola. There she is. You guys like that? There's no Christina here. Where's Christina? Just kidding. She's right here. But you guys get the joke, right? She said present. That always makes me think of Kim because Kim always does that. Christina. Yeah, I gotta stab my salad now. Really pissed off. I don't think she's here. I don't see her. Where's Christina? Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Rebecca. You guys like that? Christina's gone. It's so good. It's like an iconic scene. Yeah. Well, Blood Blessed, you can watch the stories on YT. The whole point of the live is to engage with the community. So why are you even here if you don't like it? That's literally the point of my YT channel, Boo Boo. If you just want to hear the stories, why are you in a live? Why aren't you just over there watching the stories? That's kind of the whole point. Blood Blessed. Like, how embarrassing that you stop and comment in lives that you don't like. Like, ew, get a life. Oh, Nikki, no, it's from the movie. Why am I blanking on the title of the movie? Yeah, like, what a loser. Like, I'm gonna stop and comment. Thanks, Justin. I'm gonna stop and comment in a live. Yes, it's Christina's debut story time. Yeah, and then we chat more. Hi, Joanne. Oh, decaption, thanks. That's so sweet. Yeah, you're so cute. Yeah, right, Mandy? Like, who would want to listen to? Is that why there's 500 people in here every night, asshole? Like, okay. Seems like a lot of people don't mind building a community and chatting and being social and fun. But if you want to pull that stick out of your ass, maybe you could join us, but probably not because Justin already blocked you. Me too. That's the whole reason I do it, Pippa. It's the whole reason I do the live. Otherwise, you guys could just listen to me reading the stories on my YT channel. That's literally the whole point. The movie name, Chelsea, is it The Diary of a Mad Black Woman? I think it is. Where'd Kim go? Is she gone? Yeah, his vibration's too low. You're immediately kicked off the porch for that. Yep, there we go. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, yes. It's just so funny. What happened on a porch today, CJ? And no, we can't. That's the name. Thanks, Living Baby Doll. That's what I thought. But I was mixing it up with, what was the other one? I was just thinking. Yeah, Scarlett, because we are a family. That's exactly right. And guess what? Not a lot of people do that because creators are just out here for clout and they aren't actually trying to build community. They just go on like going live some obligation. And that's not how I roll. And if they don't like it, that's cool. But that's my brand and my flavor. And I'm going to continue to be myself. And he can go watch one of the 5 million other creators that's all the same. And none of them have chats with their followers and they don't give a shit. So there's plenty of that on here already, bud. You're in luck. Yes, Sherry, exactly. My flavor is spicy. Because again, I'm a Sagittarius. We're the hippies of the fire signs, but I'm still a fire sign. Right? Yeah, that would be so boring if I didn't talk. I do, Jackson. I love you guys. Plus, they missed the whole point of a porch. Like, tell me you don't know anything about the South without telling me you don't. If you, the whole point of sitting on a porch, they were literally built to chat on, motherfucker. Like, what? Are you from the Twilight? What planet are you from? That's what porches are for, is to chat and have your community hang out on them. Like, that's the reason I named this porch floor. So, Bye. Yeah, Nippon. Oh, Victoria, you're a Sag too? Hell yeah. So that's the thing, is like we're so chill and we're like, hey, you need to chill the fuck out. When like we are spicy, but we're still like very chill about it. CJ, who does that? You can go fishing for that, okay? You can go fishing for that weird, boring shit. Like, what's the point? Just having a body next to you to drink? That's weird. That's weird. A wraparound, me too. It's my dream. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul. Okay, let's get to Christina's story. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready for my high school bestie and me to go on an adventure in the Appalachian Mountains? Christina! I'm so glad you're listening on your porch. Christina! I gotta make sure she's still in here. What if I like talk so long she fell asleep? Okay, she's still here. Get in the car, we're going hiking. I love you. I love you guys. This is my high school bestie, Christina. And yes, she is in a story. I don't know why this is the first time I put her in one, because she was the OG Porch Pal supporter. She used to loop it for her dog while she went to work so I could get my watch hours enough to be able to go live. That's a real one. Sam! Sam! And here's her fiance, Sam. Hi, Sam. She is beautiful. She's incredible, beautifully inside and out. Okay, I will be right back with the tale of Spearfinger. Mwah. Also, I forgot to ask you guys all night. Could you guys do me a big favor? Could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? And there's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Thank you, Laura. That's so sweet. Oh, God, CJ. Oh, God. Let's go, Sam. CJ, that joke was funny but horrible. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Thank you, Living Baby Doll. Yes, and you can add to stories. CJ, I think I may have dated a Spearfinger in high school. Yeah, Sam, CJ's our resident porch funny man. He's a hoot. He's a hoot and holler. Nikki said, didn't we all? All right, you guys, get ready for this creepy background. Yes, this is actually real footage of Christina when she wakes up in the morning. Also, shout out to my friend John, who is of the Cherokee, Eastern Band Cherokee Nation. Thank you for helping me with my Cherokee pronunciations. I appreciate you. I don't think you're here, but I just wanted to give a shout out to my friend John and helping me with the Cherokee words in this story. Be right back. Yeah, guys, she's a scary one. She makes all the kids in Appalachia tremble. She's terrifying. CJ, why? By the way, Christina, do you see how CJ calls me diva now? That's your fault. Thank you, Ramen. Thank you, Judy. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of Spearfinger. People talk about the Great Smoky Mountains National Park like it's beautiful, peaceful, spiritual, and it is. But there's another side to those mountains that locals don't always discuss openly. The Smokies are ancient, older than every other mountain range on Earth. And there are places deep in those forests where the air feels heavy in a way that's difficult to explain. The fog settles low between the trees, sound behaves strangely in the valleys, and entire sections of forest can go unnervingly silent without warning. Long before the national park existed, Cherokee communities lived throughout the region, and many legends were tied directly to the mountains themselves. And one of the most feared stories was the legend of Spearfinger. Known in Cherokee tradition as Ut Lunta. According to the old stories, Spearfinger was a terrifying shape-shifting entity with stone, skin, and a razor-sharp finger made of obsidian-like rock. She could disguise herself as an elderly woman and lure people close before attacking them. And unlike other monsters from folklore, Spearfinger wasn't described as wild or animalistic. No, she was intelligent, patient, manipulative. The stories often warn travelers not to trust unfamiliar voices in isolated mountain areas, because Spearfinger could imitate human behavior almost perfectly. And most people today treat the legend like a mere campfire tale. And I used to think the same thing. But then I went to visit my friend Christina in Knoxville. Christina had only been living in Knoxville for a few years after relocating for work, but she fell in love with the Smokies almost immediately. And I have always been obsessed with paranormal stories, cryptids, and Appalachian legends. And ever since Porch Lore took off, Christina had kind of gotten into it too. The first night I arrived, we stayed up late talking on her apartment balcony while the warm summer rain rolled across the city in the distance. The mountains were barely visible beneath thick layers of fog and cloud cover. Christina told me she had found a secluded hiking trail online that supposedly led to old abandoned settlements hidden deep in the Smokies. Hardly any tourists, no crowded overlooks, just forests and ruins. The next morning, we left before sunrise and drove east toward the mountains while mist drifted across the roads in pale ribbons. The closer we got to the national park, the more isolated everything became. Gas stations disappeared, cell service weakened. Dense forests crowded both sides of the road until it felt like the mountains were swallowing us whole. Eventually, Christina turned onto a narrow gravel road, leading toward a nearly empty trailhead hidden far away from the busier parts of the park. The second I stepped out of the car, I noticed how quiet it was. We started hiking shortly after sunrise. The trail wound through enormous hemlocks and moss-covered boulders, slick with moisture from the constant mountain fog. Sunlight barely reached the forest floor in places, and everything smelled like wet bark and pine. About an hour into the hike, we encountered an older Cherokee man, sitting beside the trail near a small stream crossing. At first, he seemed friendly enough, nodding politely as we approached. But then his expression changed to concern. His eyes lingered in the direction we were heading. He asked if we planned on continuing deeper into the trail, past the old settlement ruins. Christina explained that we did. The man grew quiet for several seconds before warning us that certain areas deeper in the Smokies were avoided by locals for a reason. He spoke carefully, almost reluctantly, and eventually mentioned Spearfinger by name. Even hearing her name there beneath those trees made my stomach tighten slightly. The man explained that stories about Spearfinger were never intended as entertainment. According to him, the old legends existed because people had encountered something dangerous in those mountains long ago. He specifically warned us about hearing voices in isolated parts of the forest. And then he told us that if the forest ever became completely silent, we needed to leave immediately. The animals would always alert. Christina and I exchanged nervous glances afterwards, but once we continued hiking, we mostly laughed it off. It felt eerie in the moment, but we assumed he was just trying to scare two obvious tourists fascinated with folklore. The trail grew steeper as we climbed higher into the mountains. Fog drifted heavily between the trees now, sometimes so dense it completely obscured the woods ahead of us. Eventually, we came across the remains of several collapsed cabins hidden deep in the forest. The ruins looked ancient, half swallowed by moss and vines. Rotting wood sank into the earth, while crooked stone chimneys rose between the trees like gravestones. Then the woods went silent. Completely silent. No birds, no insects, nothing. Christina noticed it too. Before either of us could say anything, we heard footsteps somewhere behind us. Slow, heavy, and measured. Not an animal. These were human footsteps. We both turned toward the sound simultaneously, but at first I couldn't see anything through the fog. And then a shape slowly emerged. It was an old woman. She stood motionless in the forest, maybe 30 feet away. She wore long gray clothing stained dark around the edges, and her white hair hung in tangled strands around her face. At first glance, she looked frail. But then, I noticed her hand. One finger was impossibly long, dark gray, sharp at the tip like chipped stone. The old woman stared directly at us without blinking. Christina whispered that we needed to leave immediately. And we started backing away down the trail. And the woman took one slow step forward. Even from a distance, I could see her smile widening unnaturally across her face. And I remember realizing then that her skin didn't move normally. It looked too stiff and too tight, almost cracked in places like weathered rock beneath thin flesh. The woman continued watching us while the fog drifted around her legs. And then I heard something that made my blood run cold. My name. Softly spoken from somewhere deeper in the woods behind us. I spun around instinctively, but nobody was there. And when I looked back toward the woman, she had moved much closer without making a sound. And that was when Christina grabbed my arm and started pulling me down the trail quickly. The footsteps followed almost immediately behind us, perfectly matching our pace. Every time I looked back, the woman seemed nearer than before, despite the fact that I never saw her fully walking toward us. The fog thickened rapidly until the trail became barely visible ahead. Then the voice came again, this time directly beside me. My name whispered softly from someone just beyond the trees. I turned and I saw the woman standing only a few feet away in the woods. That's impossible. There is no way she could have reached us that quickly. Now that I could see her closer, she looked less human. Her silver gray eyes reflected light strangely, almost like an animal's eyes in darkness. Beneath her thin skin, subtle grinding movements shifted across her face and neck, like stone scraping against stone underneath flesh. Christina screamed when she saw her, and that was all it took for both of us to completely panic. And we ran. Branches whipped against our faces as we sprinted down the mountain trail through dense fog. Somewhere behind us, something crashed violently through the woods. The sounds moved impossibly fast through the trees, and at some point, I looked back, and I immediately regretted it. The old woman was no longer standing upright. She moved on all fours through the forest at horrifying speed, her limbs bending at unnatural angles while her long stone finger dragged against the rocks and tree trunks with a metallic scraping sound. The image still shows up in my nightmares sometimes. We finally saw the parking area up ahead through the fog and sprinted toward the car as fast as we could. The second we reached it, I turned around one last time. Holly. The forest had gone completely still. Holly said four-wheel drive. The forest had gone completely still. The woman stood motionless at the edge of the trees, watching us, smiling. Yeah, Squeaks. It's hard to break me, dude. But she said she was in four-wheel drive. I can't. Okay. The second we reached it, I turned around one last time. Right, Echo? The forest had gone completely still again. The woman stood motionless at the edge of the trees, watching us. Smiling. Christina reversed out of the gravel so fast we nearly slid into a ditch. Neither of us spoke much during the drive back to Knoxville. And that night, neither of us slept. We stayed up all night reliving the experience, trying to make sense of what happened. Around 2 a.m, I walked into Christina's kitchen for water. And as I passed the window above the sink, movement caught my attention. An old woman stood beneath a flickering parking lot light near the edge of the apartment complex. Completely still, just watching the building. The same tangled white hair, the same gray clothing, the same unnatural posture. My entire body locked up with fear. I called for Christina to come into the kitchen. She rushed into the room moments later, but by the time we both looked outside again, the parking lot was empty. Still, neither of us spoke while Christina quietly locked every deadbolt on the apartment door. I drove home 2 days later. Christina said that she still sees that old woman along the border of the woods outside her apartment. And every time she has tried to approach her, she just disappears into the shadows. So, be careful where you wander out in the woods and who you come across while you're wandering. Because remember, looks can be deceiving. Mwah. And that's the tale of Spearfinger, featuring my bestie Christina. You said good thing it's not the middle finger, Manny. I'm pretty sure like in her universe, I don't think the middle finger's as offensive as it probably is here. Pretty sure that's not on their mind in her cryptid, creepy, crawly world. I don't think they're like, man, they flicked me off. And that's the new story of the week. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you, Nancy, for the hand hearts. And thank you for the moonwalking shoes. I just saw someone say that I need light up Skechers, and I'm cackling. Why do I need those? And Faye, what are you talking about? What's from Kardashian? I don't understand. I don't watch that show. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks, Mary. Oh, so I can see while running. Oh my God. That is hilarious. That is so funny. And so you guys can see me too. People be like, well, we lost her in the woods, but we put her in light up shoes because she's always wandering. No, I love that, Scarlett. That made my night. I actually would love a pair, to be honest. That would be, like, I'm not kidding, that would be sweet. I do go on a lot of adventures, and that would be kind of fun. Oh, it was a joke about the spear finger lady. Okay. Oh, because he said it's giving Kardashian's disappointment room, but I don't know what that means, but I want to laugh at it. I wish I knew what that meant. What, Skrilla? You'd see my personality, what, running in light up shoes? Candy shop. I don't think October's anymore. Like, I'm actually not a fall girly. So it's very rare for us spooky gals to not be fall girlies, but I'm a spring and summer girly. I am not your typical Samhain fall time. I am more of like a Austera Beltane kind of gal. Does that make sense? But in October, yes, I did lives this year and dressed up as Wednesday because the new Wednesday came out. And I love it. And my friend Stevie went as Wednesday's best friend and we dressed up in costume on lives and it was really fun. Yeah, no, everybody loves fall. I don't though. I grew up and lived somewhere a lot of my life where it's cold and fall is just like I don't know, everything's dying and I'm just such I'm such a fairy flower girly. Like, I don't like the season when everything dies and crumbles and gets cold and goes away and gets gray. It's just like not my thing. Not my thing. Yeah, I used to live in SoCal. The fall is nice there. But I am a spring and summer girly. And here's a fun one for you guys. Unpopular opinion. I love humidity. Love it. I love when I go outside and the air feels like water. I have a whole theory on it. I'm not going to get into it today. We can talk about it on Witchy Wednesday someday, but I have a whole theory on why people claim they hate humidity. We can talk about it on Witchy Wednesday one day, but I guarantee you don't actually hate humidity like you think you do. Society's rules just make us hate it. And that's all I'm going to say. Because humidity is amazing. It feels so good on your skin. You walk out and there's moisture on your skin. It's like it's the best. It's so good for your skin. It's so good for you in general. It's the elements. It's air, water, like helping hydrate you with grounding water from the air. It's like the best. And the only reason people hate it is because of their hair gets frizzy. They sweat off their makeup. They sweat under their shirt. Everything is about like what other people think of you. If you were just like out in the wilderness by yourself and you didn't care about what other people thought you would, if you didn't think you were going to encounter other people, would you care? No, you would like it. You would like it. Don't even get me started on women not knowing how to swim. Don't even get me started. Me neither, Faye. I think it's so funny too. Like, if you hate humidity, why do you live in Florida? Like, what? It's like the most humid part of our entire country. Like, yeah, Mackenzie, you're right. The careful to not overheat is the important part. It's a life form. I kind of love that, JJ. I kind of want to see it. Yeah, I don't mind humidity either. I really like the way it feels on my skin. It's like a sauna. It just feels so good, and it's so like. But I also like standing in rain. I'm a big water girly. I'm a siren. Hello, we're obsessed with water. So, I again am a weirdo. Don't listen to me. I just love water all the time, everywhere. If I could live in water, I would. But I'm stuck here on land. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'll be right back with the next poll. Yeah, same with Ohio, Anna. And people who say the dry heat is better, I used to live in Southern California, and I will tell you right now, there were days when it's so hot, it hurt to breathe through your lungs. Dry heat is a totally different kind of heat, and it hurts. Humidity doesn't hurt, it's just sticky. Dry heat literally hurts to breathe. So everybody was like, oh, I don't mind the dry heat. Then you've never really been in dry heat, because dry heat is literally our lungs can't breathe properly. And you like have to keep humidifiers going in your house all the time. And it's like, so like, yes, I'm a humidity galley. Yeah, Helen, I used to live in SoCal for 7 years, and it would get so hot in like August that like the whole city was on fire and everything was so dry that like it hurt to breathe. Like, and it would literally be like 114. And then when I lived in Houston, it would be like 114 but humid. And was my shirt like wet? Yeah, everybody would, but it was nice. It felt cool. Yes, Becky's Palm Springs, same vibe. The air hurts to breathe sometimes. It's so hot. And I love heat. Don't get me wrong. I would still love to live there over somewhere with snow. But it's like, ask Kim if she wasn't asleep. Kim lives in Arizona. Barbara, that is actually how my sister passed away. And yes, it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. That's so funny, Blue Jay. I moved from Houston to Colorado, and I regretted it so much. And I loved living in Houston as well. I did not like living in Colorado. I'll leave it at that. Misty, I live there too. And it is humid. It's nice. It's nice right now. It's nice. But it's not always humid. It's only humid like right now for like a month maybe. And thank you, Aqua. All right, I'll be right back with the next poll, or I could literally talk to you guys all night and forget about telling stories. I love talking to you guys. And the chat is moving so fast. I'll be right back with, thank you, Barbara. I will be right back with the next poll. By the way, you guys, now that the weather's better, I am going to start doing pop-up lives, outdoor adventures, probably completely unannounced and unplanned, because that's how I am, where like I'll just probably go live and we'll be in the woods looking for airheads, or like we'll be like wandering around an Underground Railroad conductor's house, or like we'll be in a creek looking for cool crystal and rocks. So if you guys... Thank you, Misbehaving. Yeah, it's rough. So, yes, Yanni, pop-up trail from the... Yep. Christina and I are already planning a get-together where I'm going to go live from Tennessee with her. And so I'm going to start doing that a lot in the spring and the summer. I used to do that last summer, but most of you guys didn't follow me then. So I'm going to do it again. And this year I got some new equipment. Thanks to you guys and your generosity, I was able to get some upgraded equipment, a better selfie stick, a light, a neck mount, so that I can look for rocks and you guys can see the point of view and stuff like that. And so make sure you turn on the bell notifications for me, because it's not going to always be my norm. I'm still going to do the 10 o'clock at night ones, but I'm probably going to be doing some random, fun, sporadic daytime ones. So... And I probably won't be like announcing it beforehand. So it's just going to be pop-up kind of deal, because that's how I am naturally. I'm spontaneous. Be right back. Mary, any day, anytime, we don't know. I'm going to start doing pop-ups outdoors. Where's Spooky Cabin? Oh, in Canada? Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. We have Victoria's in Hollywood, Florida. Yeah, girl, humidity. We have the Deer Woman of Oklahoma. That's okay, Susie Q. I'm so sorry you were in the hospital. I'm glad you're out. Sending you all the healing love. Okay, guys, we have the Deer Woman of Oklahoma, the Fresno Spooky Pants, the Door in the Water, the Puckwudgies, and the Ozarks Howler. Oh yeah, Victoria, and we're in North Carolina. I grew up in Greensboro. All right, you guys can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box hidden under that stupid hot pink banner. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have the Deer Woman of Oklahoma. We have the Fresno Spooky Pants. And yes, that is what I put on the poll. The Fresno Spooky Pants. Also the Door in the Water and the Puckwudgies and the Ozarks Howler. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? The Deer Woman, the Fresno Spooky Pants, the Door in the Water, the Puckwudgies, the Ozarks Howler? Let's see. The Ozarks Howler is like, nobody cares about him. Everybody's like, goodbye, go howl somewhere else, bro. It's top left-hand corner, Tabby. It's a blue box. And if you're not on TT, don't worry about voting, just chill. You're wearing spooky pants right now, Average C. Also, the Door in the Water is the Selkies. Hi, Light of Ra. Nice to see you over here. All right, guys, the winner is the Puckwudgies. Good night, Lily. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. The Puckwudgies. Ooh. And if you guys haven't noticed, this is the first story I have written where I get hurt. First story where they get me. But not totally got me. Just a little bit. Yep, it's the first story I've ever written where I get injured. Puckwudgies. Okay, I will be right back, you guys, with the tale of the Puckwudgies. Hi, Songbird. By the way, you guys, if you haven't checked out the merch koozies, Holly got one and it's really cute. Way cuter than I thought. Like, I'm definitely ordering one. She got the Mothman on the mobile Mothman, and it's really cute. No, don't worry. Not done. Just switching stories right now. Yes, Susie. Creepy Glasgow Girl already ordered some merch and got it and loves it. So, yeah, it ships all over the world. You sure can. Yes, Matt, I love a good koozie. And I put like some of the funniest graphics on the koozie. And she bought the one where Mothman's like sitting on his phone. And she took it to the hotel and she said people were already complimenting her on it. And I'm feeling really cool. I'm like, it's me. Strangers liked it. So if you haven't checked out the merch, the link's in my bio, and it's also the peach colored banner at the top. It's just my name.store. Yeah, Lisa did. Yep, she sure did. I love her. I need to get one of her shirts. Her shirt is so cute. Oh, thank you, Holly. I really appreciate that. Virgil shops. Oh, Virgie. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Puckwudgies. And Light of Ra? No, I don't think I have. Most people outside of New England have never heard of a Puckwudgie. And that is probably for the best. Because unlike the more marketable monsters, the Bigfoots, the Mothman, the Puckwudgie was never treated in the old stories as something mysterious or majestic. It was treated as malicious, cruel, petty. The kind of thing that did not hunt because it was hungry or territorial, but because it enjoyed making human beings suffer. The legend comes primarily from the Wampanoag folklore in Massachusetts and the surrounding northeastern tribes. And similar forest trickster entities appear across Algonquin traditions under different names and variations. Depending on the telling, Pukwudgies were once friendly towards humans. Small magical woodland beings with gray skin, oversized ears, glowing eyes, and the ability to appear and disappear at will. And then according to the stories, something changed. Thank you, Sherry. Some say the humans mistreated them. Some say they just became jealous of humanity. And some say they were never friendly to begin with. Whatever the reason, the legends all agree on one thing. Pukwudgies hate people. They lure travelers off paths. They imitate voices. They sabotage camps. They shoot poison arrows. And they shove people from cliffs. They've been known to appear at the edges of firelight with yellow eyes and mocking smiles. And unlike many folkloric creatures, the stories about them rarely end with escape. They usually end with someone vanishing. Massachusetts is full of spooky stories and old folklore. Witch trials, sea serpents, Bridgewater Triangle monsters, and Pukwudgies. So, I decided to take a trip to visit my friend Anthony for a long weekend in Massachusetts. I was looking forward to visiting Plymouth, seeing the old colonial sites, doing the tourist thing. But there was also another site that I was determined to see while I was there. The Freetown Fall River State Forest. A place with enough paranormal lore attached to it that some people call it the most haunted forest in America. Disappearances, UFO sightings, cult rumors, cryptid reports, and of course, Pukwudgies. Anthony laughed when I mentioned it, and he told me that if he was going to take me into those woods, I was not allowed to whistle. I was not allowed to follow any voices. I was not allowed to acknowledge anything moving in the brush. And under absolutely no circumstances was I allowed to leave any food behind. Apparently, according to his grandmother, leaving food in the woods was considered an offering. I thought it was charming. I love regional superstitions. The sort of folklore every place develops when enough people get lost in the forest over the centuries. Good night, James. The drive there through the forest was beautiful, in that deeply old New England way. The trees were taller and older than I was used to. The woods felt denser. It was late afternoon when we arrived, and the parking lot near the trailhead was nearly empty. By then, the sun had hidden behind a thick layer of clouds. Anthony had brought a backpack with snacks, water, adequate flashlights, and enough practical hiking gear to suggest that he actually took this very seriously. Thank you, Michael. I, on the other hand, brought a hoodie and a backpack filled with delusional confidence. The first hour was normal. Honestly, it was peaceful. The trail wound through pines and scrub oak, over roots as thick as my wrist, and past glacial boulders wrapped in moss. Anthony pointed out places where locals claimed strange things happened. A pond where people supposedly saw lights under the water. A clearing where a hiker claimed something small chased him through the trees. A narrow ravine where a teenager allegedly disappeared in the 80s. And then we found a little structure. It stood 20 or 30 feet off the trail. Kind of a crude stick hut. 3 feet high, maybe. Built from branches leaned together into a cone shape. It was decorated with stones, bones, feathers, and strips of cloth tied to the branches. My first thought was local kids had made it. My second thought was that it was creepy enough to photograph. I bent down near the structure, snapped a few photos while Anthony made some joke about paying tribute to tiny goblins. And then the woods went silent. Not gradually, immediately. No birds, no wind, no insects. Just silence so complete, it made the inside of my ears ring. Anthony's face went pale, and he grabbed my hand and said that we needed to get out of here now. So we started speed walking. And then we picked up the pace just a little faster. And then a little faster to where we probably weren't really walking anymore. Okay, we were running at that point. And maybe after 3 minutes of hoofing it out of there, we heard high-pitched laughter coming from somewhere behind us in the trees. I stopped. Anthony did not. He grabbed my arm and nearly dragged me out. He knew my curiosity would be the death of me. And then the laughter came again, this time closer. Oh my God, thank you, Michelle. God, that's cute. It sounded like something trying to imitate the laughter of a child. It was horrifying. Finally, after we slowed down to catch our breath, the trail back seemed longer. It felt like we were walking for ages. And then came the first pebble. It struck the back of my shoulder, light, almost playful. I turned around, but there was nothing. And then another pebble hit the dirt in front of us. And then another and another. All thrown from different directions. Something moved between the trees to our left. Short, gray, and fast. I froze. And for half a second, I saw it clearly. Barely 3 feet tall, skin the color of wet stone, long arms, large head, wide mouth stretched into something like a grin. And then it darted behind a tree. Anthony looked at me calmly and said, "Run." We bolted through the forest. Branches whipped my face. Roots caught my shoes. And all around us, I could hear that laughter. Sometimes ahead of us, sometimes behind us. Sometimes so close it sounded like it came from right beside my ear. At one point, something small and hard struck the back of my knee and nearly sent me. Then another hit my shoulder blade. And then something sharp sliced across the side of my neck. Not deep, but enough to burn. Enough that when I touched it, my fingers came back bloody. We burst into the parking lot at full sprint. I had never been so relieved to see a car in my life. We threw ourselves into Anthony's car, locked the doors, and sat there, gasping for air. Nothing emerged from the trees. There was no movement, no figures, no more laughter, just the dark tree line. Perfectly silent and still. I tried to laugh it off. Adrenaline does strange things. People see strange things and panic. Maybe we had just spooked ourselves. Anthony just drove, neither of us really talked. And neither of us noticed until halfway home that my neck had started swelling. By the time we reached his house, I was dizzy and nauseous. My skin burned and the cut on my neck had turned an angry black around the edges. We ended up in urgent care, and the doctor said it looked like some kind of natural poisoned arrow around the puncture wound. He cleaned it, gave me antibiotics, and sent me home. Now, puckwudgies might be small, but I'll never go back into that forest again. And if you ever find yourself in the forests of southern Massachusetts, and you come across a tiny hut made of sticks and bones just off the trail, do yourself a favor. Run. I love how you use little hedgehogs for the running. Spooky Bessie, that's so cute. You're like, okay, I'll run. And that was the tale of the puckwudgies. Scarlett, you're sweet. Thanks. Right, Spooky Bestie? Kim thinks they're cute. Kim loves the Pukwudgies. And yes, thank you, Light of Bra. I will check it out. All right, you guys know what time it is. And if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Obviously today I have gone over a little bit, but that's okay. It is grilled cheese time. And if you are new here, we end every live with this same story because everybody loves it so much and we don't ever get sick of it. And we have beloved characters. It's become a tradition. There's an entire collection of merch dedicated to this story. So sit back and relax. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, and get ready for the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tam Bam and Echo. Thank you, Rainbows. Thank you, Tam Bam. I'm loving these new capybara gifts. Oh my God. Why are they so cute? Angela, it's a capybara, not a beaver. But beavers do kind of look like capybaras. Oh, don't be sorry, Angela. Earlier tonight, Shannon said she looked up capybaras. So there's a lot of people actually that don't know what a capybara is. Because when I talked about how I met one in Texas at my chiropractor's office once, the lady who worked there didn't know what it was. She's like, I've never heard of that animal in my life. So don't feel bad at all. They look just like beavers and they are related. They're all giant rodents. But the capybara is my favorite animal since I was a child. So the fact that now there's gifts, it's like I'm excited. I'm like a nerd. They're my favorite animal. So like most people probably think that's a beaver. 100%, Angela. But like me, I'm stoked because I'm like, oh my God, it's capybara's time to shine. Finally. They're so sweet, Holly. Okay, I'd wanted to meet one my whole life, and I always thought they'd be the sweetest thing ever. And then I met one, and his name was Sprinkles, right? Sprinkles, I think, right? Sprinkles. And my God, Pebbles. His name was Pebbles, and my God, like the vibe. I swear to God, that thing had an old soul. Like I have never felt a connection with an animal like that. I was obsessed. I couldn't stop thinking about Pebbles for like weeks afterwards. It was like a spiritual moment. It was like the sweetest, most zen animal I've ever met. He was so lovey and adorable. It was like, I know, Mackenzie. Trust me, I'm plotting. Yeah, Pebbles is so cute. So if you guys want to see a picture of me freaking out and gushing over cuddling and having a private hangout session with a capybara that cost a really stupid amount of money, but it was so worth it and I would do it again in a second. It's on my TT profile. It's like a pinned video of me almost crying, literally, because my best friend surprised me and took me, Chelsea from The Mad Scientist took me to meet a capybara in Texas, in New Braunfels, Texas, this past summer. Anyway, yes, the capybara is the official mascot of the porch. You're from Norway, Line? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Good night, Suzanne. I love you. See you tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Tracy, thanks for the bighorn and thank you for the capybara swimming. Sarah, thanks for the hat and mustache. All right, you guys, quick swig and I'll be right back with Sycamore Diner. Good night, Patsy. Sweet dreams. Good night, Michael. Sweet dreams. Hello, Sarah. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Thank you, Tracy, for the cozy cryptids. You're so sweet. Also, really quickly, Merlin just wanted me to clarify that when I said I've never felt a connection with an animal like that before, I meant a wild animal, and I did not mean him. He is the number one in my heart always. Okay. Yes, Rainbows, the new story just premiered tonight at 7. Merlin's over here looking at me like, what the hell, Mom? Thank you, Rainbows. Yeah, the new one is about Spearfinger. I already read it, but it's on YT as well, and I'll read it tomorrow again. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Hi, Dak. And Lynn, I think everything bites. Can't everything bite? I know I can bite. I don't, but I could. Yeah, anything with a mouth can bite. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road. Surrounded by pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm. Almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools. Even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet, like they weren't expecting me. Like I'd walked in the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart." She said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. "Yeah, the highway's a mess." She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth and the vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there, but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corners of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal. And I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going. But now, the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast. Too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said, just that. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile, walked over collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff, just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me, like, not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. Then when I stood up, the lights flickered, just once and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence, and the woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped, like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back, and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm, a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see, just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. "Thank you, Sarah." I backed toward the door, heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and the rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm and still half eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. "The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in." Then she raised a hand, and the walls began to shimmer. Literally, shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled, and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines, and then shadows, and then nothing. And then I saw it, underneath the illusion. Charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second I was inside, and the next I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music, no porch lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone, not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site, and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight, and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, and the same neon sign. Thanks, Michelle. SYCAMORE. So cute. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at the Sycamore Diner. And thank you, Dawn, for the adorable swimming capybara. I'm obsessed with these new capybaras they've given us. They're so cute. Also, Scarlett, in response to your comment, girl, I am literally walking around all the time going, hi, 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 oh, all the time, like a freak, like a freaking weirdo. Literally, this song is stuck in my head 24 hours a day. Really, not this part. Not this part. You guys know exactly what part it is. Get ready. It's right here. Just wait. Not this part. We all know what part it is. If it's stuck in your head, you know what part I'm talking about. You know exactly what part I'm talking about, right? It's coming. Your kids are laughing. Yeah. I'm a goofy gal. Yeah, Scarlett, you know exactly what part it is. Here it comes. Ready? It's coming. Yep. This song right now, Venus. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah. I know. It gets stuck in all our heads. Thank you, Don. Yeah, sorry, Melly. That's it. That's the stuff. And Scarlett, I almost cackled when I saw your comment while I was reading, because Scarlett typed it out. She typed out, and I knew exactly what she was typing. And I was reading it while I was reading the story, and I was about to die laughing. And then she wrote, I hear it in my head and I sing it all day and no one knows what it is. And I was like, I have to comment on it when I'm done reading the story, because you were making me cackle, because it's the same way for me. Good night, Thea. I love you guys. Thanks, Joker. So yeah, I'll be like doing my laundry and I'm like sorting the laundry and I'm like doing chores around. No, Scarlett, don't be sorry. I loved it. Yes, I love the music too. It's just it gets stuck in your head because it's catchy. Yeah, and it's comforting. So it's gotten to the point now where it's comforting me. I'm like, and I like to do it silly like that. It's like a verbal stimming. It's like, anyway, I love you guys. I enjoy spending every evening with you guys. And if you haven't fallen asleep and you want more stories, feel free to head on over and subscribe to my YT, where there's a playlist called Bedtime Stories, but also now the live recordings are over there on my YT channel for you to listen to whenever you want. So if you want to go back and listen to me going, you really can whenever you want. So thank you guys. I love you so much. I will see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys get some wonderful sleep. And don't forget, stay spooky. Yay, Sarah's coming back. Whoop, whoop. Sweet dreams, everyone.